All right, and we are live. Welcome to the Fashion Fair Ball recap. Woo! When I tell you, it has been an entire journey throwing this event from working with sponsors to working with some of my closest friends behind the closed doors to handling a couple of different things on my own. It's been a definite journey, and I've enjoyed every single part of it. Being a part of the Kiki scene has been great. I have been a part for about 5 years now, and it's been cool. Honestly, all of the balls that I've thrown have been successful. They've been full of great energy, all the way starting back at my Christmas ball. All of them have always been full of energy, and the people will be happy at the end. They got their trophy. If there's coin, the coin will be there, right? And it's just been a great experience being able to be a ball promoter now, in particular with the Fashion Fair Ball. Let's get right into it. The Fashion Fair Ball, that ball was about the fashion, okay? It was about the looks, it was about really making sure that you read the categories because I wanted to hit some particular notes. Okay, I wanted to hit some particular notes for the Fashion Fair Ball, and that basically was that Black excellence because there was so much information that was being gathered by each participant that was required. I mean, it gave a certain level of Black excellence to what we were looking for at the ball. Okay, so the theme of the Fashion Fair Ball was that Black excellence, and we wanted to look at highlighting Black first. Okay, we're looking at Black first. We're talking Black businesses, Black inventions, Black creatives, Black art. Okay, that's what we were looking at. And if you broke down every single one of the categories, you would be able to see that is exactly what I wanted across the board. Okay. I wanted to celebrate us. Okay. I wanted to celebrate us. Hey, everybody coming on in. Make sure you share the stream, share it out, share it to everybody. Make sure you share it into different groups and things like that. I'll definitely be posting the link again as well. But I just want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to come in and see the official recap for the Fashion Fair Ball. Okay, so before I jump in too deep into the categories, because we're going to get there, we're going to talk moments. Okay, we're going to talk all of that. So now let me give you a couple of things. I want to shout out, of course, because today is September 27th. I want to shout out the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Us Helping Us People Into Living. I want to shout out Heart to Hand Inc. And I also want to shout out Impulse DC for participating because today, September 27th, is the actual day that they all were supporting and were sponsoring their likeness for, which is National Gay Men's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, and that's today. So happy National Gay Men's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. So if you didn't get tested during the month of September, you still have the opportunity to keep getting tested through these organizations. So if you go and get tested with AHF or uh, Us Helping Us or with Impulse or with Heart to Hand, it'll be super beneficial for you because they have the resources that you need. Okay, not only are you being able to get the test, but there's also treatment and there's also resources for prep. And I know that a couple of people were able to get that information while they were at the ball, and I thought that was amazing. The way that the sponsors came out and they represented, I just was so grateful. The sponsors, you guys did your big one. I mean, they held down the testing so professionally. They had their own private section. Okay, It was very much so confidential. It was no pressure. All of their tables were beautiful. They had all of their distribution items out. They did their big one. They represented their companies and their organizations properly. And that's exactly what I wanted to see. They represented everybody, and they made sure that everybody felt comfortable too, because I made sure I sent my house down to get tested. And I double checked it, and I was like, "Hey, everything went good and everything." And they said that everything was super smooth. So I enjoyed that. I'm glad that we were able to tie in this initiative, because sexual health is important. Us being adults and being out there, even if it's just one partner, your sexual health is still very important. It's a part of your life routine. So I was super appreciative to have AHF again, us helping us, Heart to Hand, and Impulse DC partnering with the Fashion Fair Ball. They did the free HIV STI testing, prep initiation. They gave out condoms, lubricants. There was actually some Impulse gave out cum rags. Impulse gave out cum rags. I thought that was super clever. I thought that that was super clever. I told her to make me a bag. They didn't make me a bag, man. I want me a bag. I'm gonna have to go stop by the Us Helping Us up on Georgia Avenue and get me a bag, because that's probably where all the goodies at. Okay. But if you want to continue to get tested, you can go to freestdcheck.org, and that's for with AHF. And of course, you can go to ushelpingus.org so that you can jump on with their resources as well. Okay, we did get a pretty decent number of tested at the for HIV, and we got people going in prior to the ball as well. So those people got into the ball for free. They came in with their wristbands and everything, so that was nice and smooth too. There was no issues there. Shout out to my best friend at the door, baby, baby, baby. That is my best friend of all time. I've known her since 2007. Okay, I've known her since 2007, and we used to model together back in the day. Okay, and she was one of the first people that I put on the A list back in the day with the modeling with the modeling teams in the high school groups and things like that. So she is not a part of ballroom whatsoever, but she held down that door like she was a part of the community. And I appreciated every moment about it, because you got to have good people in your corner. You know, when you're working on big projects like this, you got to have good people in your corner. And she was one of those amazing people. She was also a part of setting up those beautiful handmade centerpieces for each one of those tables. For all of the houses, they had their name in it and all nicely. It was like a fashion cage. That's what we were going for. Again, very fashion show oriented. The event was supposed to the idea was set up to be a fashion show. That's why every single category was developed around that. Even realness was developed around fashion. So it was about being a fashion show. Everything was set up the way it was supposed to be designed. Okay, you gotta think about those things. Okay, so now going into the venue, since we already touching venue, shout out to the Cambria. Shout out to the Cambria. They hosted our community with so much grace. They hosted our community with so much grace, and I am super appreciative for that. And I'm thankful that everybody else came into the space with so much respect and regard. Y'all didn't tear up the bathrooms. You didn't tear up the bathrooms. Everybody was respectful when you were going through the lobbies and things like that. You were respectful with the bartender at the bar. You were respectful out on the patio space that you guys had. And even you guys were respectful going in and out of the building to hang out either in the front or go to your cars and so forth and so forth. But coming into the building, you guys really represented DMV. I appreciate you guys. And I thank you, Cambria, for working with us and being our host venue for the Fashion Fair Ball. And I want to give you a little bit of history on the Fashion Fair Ball. It actually it happened the exact same night of Indie Fashion Week, which is happening still right now. I just got off the live, watching their live over on Instagram. Indie Fashion Week's happening right now. So I'm co-producing a couple of things with them. So it happened the same night. So again, fashion things were aligned. Let me tell you something. Fashion things were aligned, and also the Cambria is the host. Is traditionally the host venue for events during Indie Fashion Week. So it was the stars were aligned. The stars were aligned. The stars were aligned. If you know, you know. Okay. So shout out to the Cambria. They took care of the food. They made sure all of the spacing was good. You guys had a backstage area. Again, they made sure everything was clean. You guys had a lounge area to hang out and you could breathe. You didn't have to sit in the ballroom the entire time. You guys could stretch out and enjoy yourself. So there was plenty of event space to enjoy. Okay, and I wanted to give you guys that experience. All right, so going into the categories, and we'll go right into moments as we go. Okay, let's pull this up. Starting off on, of course, the first category of the night, the $1,000 face. Let's talk about it. $1,000 face. The Juicies came out to play. Girl, they brought Mila. They brought Mila. They came to play. The Juicies absolutely came to play. They brought Mila out there, and Mila did her absolute big one. She looked gorgeous, beautiful, stunning. Okay? Let me tell you something. She looked amazing. And now let me tell you, then my daughter had to come out. Oh, Treasure, baby. Ooh, yes, God. Treasure. Come on out. She did the first black woman. She did the first black woman on the cover of Playboy. If you do the research on that, you'll see how she ate that concept up. She brought that Playboy cover to life, and I'm so proud of her for being so young in our ballroom scene, in our ballroom culture. She's respectful to everybody, and I just love her that she's tapping in and she's being creative and she's willing to participate the way she does, because Treasure's a model. That's what she should be focusing. That's what she focuses on. That's what she should be focusing on. Okay, that's my daughter. I'll be like, listen, daughter, you a model. Let's not forget, you a model. Okay, so but she did she understood the excitement, and then coming right behind her, the DMV mother, the new DMV mother of the house of Pyer Moss, Asia, Miss Asia, representing Vogue. Okay, and now it was Hong Kong. Rihanna was the first black woman on the cover of Vogue Hong Kong, and you can research that and you can look at Rihanna and you can see Asia embody that top to bottom. Oh my goodness. It was a moment. You gotta pay attention to you gotta if you go back to the categories and you look at the categories and see what the categories is actually calling for, you will realize the type of moments that really happened at the fashion fair ball. Like no shade. Okay, so they brought those covers to life. Here come the male figures. Boom. Josh Juicy, looking amazing. Smile great. Tall, doing his thing. Fabulous as always. And then here come my son. Naomi Campbell, the first on French Vogue, the first black woman on the cover of French Vogue, to take a look that was originally a woman's look and you flipped it and you made it a male figure look. You brought out the magazine cover. Bitch, you looked like the fucking cover. I was so proud I was so proud. That was a. Did y'all see the picture? The motherfucking the motherfucking picture, and then you saw him. That was French Vogue. That was the category. The inspiration was there. The look was on point. I mean, come on. What else can you say? They represented. So then when the face people went out there to go battle, oh, the Juicy that did the prom queen. She I said prom queen. Um what's her Kenya that did Kenya on Jet. Fabulous. She did her thing. She was very much so gone with the wind. Fabulous. The Juicy. She did her thing too. You have to give her due. She did her thing. She came out and did her one too. Okay, so when the battles got into it, all right, they get the battling going. All right, it was nice. There was real subtle about it. It was no overly touching. It was no drama. They got right into it. It was boom. And then the baby, the battle for that for face the face battle that was the hottest was Mila versus Asia. Baby, that battle was hot. That battle was hot. The battle didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. The panel didn't know what to do. Okay, because listen, they had a good time. Okay, they had a good time. No, they had a good time. But Asia ends up walking away. Asia Pyer Moss ends up walking away with the $1,000 win. Okay, and so that's face 4,000. Asia Pyer Moss, and that was she looked amazing. I mean, come on, Hong Kong Vogue. The inspiration was there. You got to look back at the categories. The category was there. Okay. Let me see. All right. Let's go into the next category because I actually want to jump right into best dress because Layla's on here. And Layla, baby, Miss Layla girl, Miss Layla, why would you do us like that? And that's one of my favorite tweet songs too. Okay. See, my voice still kind of fucked up from the ball, but see you. Okay, let me tell you something. Layla, thank you. Thank you. You got to, as a ball promoter, you got to say thank you to people that took their time to put something together, to come and present it, to express themselves, and to add to the show. You got to realize in ballroom, the participants are the show. The participants are the show. You're paying to see your peers perform. You're not paying for a spot. You're not paying for air. You're paying for people to see each other, to see your peers, to see your friends perform and express themselves. Don't forget that. And Layla, I thank you. I thank you because you did exactly that. You came to express yourself, and I loved it. And then we go into James. James comes out here in this motherfucking purple and green. I love a color duo. I love a color duo. I do. I really do. I love when people mix it up. It was tailored. It was cut. It was some shit I would put on. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. And then you got the overall father, Pyer Moss comes out, shining, shining. Yeah. I told y'all my voice is still fucked up from the ball. Don't judge me. So listen, I felt like he looked amazing. Ricardo, I love you. Ricardo, I love you. Keep doing what you are doing. Keep doing what you are doing, Ricardo. I love you. Everything that you're doing over here in the house, what you are bringing to the house, what you are bringing forth to the Kiki ballroom scene, I love it. Keep doing what you are doing. Because let me tell you something, we love you over in mainstream, kill it in the face, but now we get to see you over here in the Kiki scene, playing around and having a good time in fashion. So let's do it. Okay. I love that. I love that. You had a couple. Drop it in the comments if I'm missing somebody. I feel like I'm missing a couple other people in best dressed. Cause goddamn, I can't. I don't know the words. When I see you, Miss Layla. It was Layla's ball. Fuck it. The fashion fair ball / Layla ball. Grand prize, James Juicy. He know how to talk his shit. He know how to talk his shit. Best dressed, you got to talk your shit. You got to talk your shit. And he brought it when it came to the battles. It was a moment. The battles for best dress was hot. The battles for best dress was hot, and I said, James, okay, James, we're gonna have to get our lick back. Moss is gonna have to get our lick back on that best dress, baby. And Layla, you go get your lick back too, okay? We're gonna make it happen. We'll do best dress for 1,000 again. No worries, no worries. We might make it more because if you guys came out like that for best dress, baby, I got something for you. Okay. So, and then the point of best dress was being a creative director. The point of it was to highlight that in fashion, it's hard for black designers to be a part of these big fashion houses. You girls go out there and rock all these designers, these labels and stuff like that. And they're not even letting us in the back to cut or sew or to design or create or to show. So it's very much so giving. I wanted to highlight the people that do it and have made it through and they have been doing it since doing it and doing it. And now they're cutting and sewing and showing, and now we have the opportunity to represent them at a ball in our own space, in our own community. And I thought that the creative director for best dressed, I thought that that was an amazing category. So shout out to everybody that walked that category. You guys definitely did me proud for sure. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Shout out to the girls that came out to dance. Dun, 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 ah, dun, 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 ah, dun, 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 ah. Those the crashes. So listen, it's open to all performance. Y'all did y'all big one. Shout out to Ginger. I always gotta shout out my grands. I love her dearly, her soft and cunt. You listen, you gotta stop being over it, girl. When the people hit you, girl, you gotta keep pumping. You gotta keep doing what you gotta do. You gotta keep doing what you gotta do, baby. I definitely feel like all of the twisters look real good. The twisters came out and did what they needed to do. I wanted to make sure that the realness categories had an essence of fashion to it too. So kind of flipping right into realness in that same likeness. The realness categories for male figures were broken down to different black designers, all different black designers, and each one of them had a sense of a challenge that they could, embody the look and still be real, but the essence had to be there. I didn't want it to just be like, be a construction worker. Not that that's anything wrong with that being a category, but I wanted it to really tie in nicely and smooth with the fashion fair ball. So having the guys come out. I thought that the Pretty Boys killed it. I love the Pretty Boys in the Billionaire Boys Club. I think they did amazing. The schoolboys that came out in Alawalia, I thought that that was dope. I was like, yo, he hit the mark. Who was that? The schoolboy that did Alawalia. He had like the vest. It was the print and everything. That's exactly what the brand looks like. He hit it on the nose. But also, I want to say that my schoolboy, the hoodie, you got to catch it. If you check out the collection, the pieces were in there because what they do is they all, yep, juicy, boom. See the juices. Let me tell you something. The juices and the mosses was neck and neck all night long, baby, baby. Okay, so listen, but the juicy he did his big one. But EJ Pierre Moss, um, I think a couple people. December Pierre Moss. He was live. But yeah, EJ. Shout out to you, EJ from Pierre Moss. I love the look because you had the graphic style. If you look into the collection, you got to see that there's a duality in Alawalia, so you got to go check that out. But also I want to shout out. Did we have? I thought it was only like one thug. I was hoping to see more thugs come out in the Yeezy. Like that was kind of that was kind of a low moment for me. I was hoping that the thugs came out deep for the Yeezy. You know that I felt like that was going to be easy for the thugs to come out and tear that up, right? But no worries, no worries. Right. What's up, Orlando? What's going on, man? Okay, so but while we're talking about realness, can we talk about how beautiful the Valachi women are? Shout out to the Valachi Realness Squad. You girls are beautiful. Keep doing your big one, ladies. I loved everything about it. I wanted to see the ladies come out at the Fashion Fair ball as Victoria's Secret angels, and they looked amazing. Like personally, I love a Banshee Girl too, and I love when they do the Banshee Girl set at at the ball, and you just let it be, just kind of bring it. But this one kind of made the girls step out into their sexy, and show up and represent the first trans woman to ever work with Victoria's Secret. So I thought that was a nice highlight to throw in there for our group and for our community. So the girls really did their big one. So shout out to the girls over at Valachi. You girls always represent for the female figures in DC. Truly, y'all are holding it down for the female figures in DC. So shout out to y'all Valachis. Definitely, for sure. I loved it. And of course, and following up with that, you had to bring out your legendary realness ruler twin. He came out and did his big one and represented for Valachi as well, winning the legendary realness 400. Both of the legendary categories were $400. Um, Face 1,000. We did the best dress 1,000. Both legendary categories 100. Now let's talk about male figure versus female figure sex siren. Whew. Let me tell you something. Shout out to the bodegas. Y'all do got body. Adi, adi, adi. Okay. Shout out to the bodega. Shout out to Aaron. You do your big one with that group. I love you, Aaron. You've always been a supporter. You've always been a cool guy. Listen, keep doing what you're doing over there at Bodega because let me tell you something, they got yada yada yada. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. When it comes down to sex siren in DC, we know who's going to bring it. We know that the bodegas are going to bring it. But let me tell you something. I had something for you. I had someone for you, bodegas. I had someone for you. Cinderella Pierre Moss was in the building. A moment. That Janet Jackson, what's it going to be? Come on, come on. She did her big one. I know her one of her biggest inspirations is Vanessa Frost, so I thought that was beautiful. She was so sensual. She didn't do too much. It was just she was oozing. She was oozing. Ooh, she was oozing from the right from beginning to end. She was oozing from the door to the last battle, baby. Female figure grand prize, $300. Cedella Pierre Moss. I'm so proud of her. She is doing her big one. Okay. Again, another woman in ballroom stepping out there out of her comfort zone, doing her big one, performing, expressing herself. It was so sensual. It was so sexy. You were confident. You owned it. We've seen you battle in both mainstream and Kiki now, and now I just see you in your lane. I love it, girl. Keep doing you. Shout out to them bodegas. Y'all know y'all did that big one. Oh, shout out to Icy Wang. The people was talking about talking about the Wang. All right, they was talking about Icy Wang. They said you looked amazing in the pink lingerie. Okay, that's one of my friends. So I'll tell you, listen, you did your big one, and shout out to you being the new DC father of the House of Wang. Shout out to Jody. I love you, Jody, one of the big homies. I love Jody. So definitely Wang. Thank you for coming out and supporting. You did your big one, Icy. That was cute. That was cute. Male figure versus female figure sex siren for 300. So we gave that out. Cinderella, shout out to you, baby. Now, runway. Runway 4000. Runway 4000. I definitely had to make my note before runway happened and let the people know that we wanted to make sure we hit the right note on runway. Now, I liked a lot of looks. I liked a lot of looks, but then um there's also some that weren't all the way to the category. But in all peace and serenity for our community, it's very much so you don't make a disturbance about it, right? You do what's right for the community. So luckily we didn't have too much of that, and I try my best not to intervene too much in the category judging, but I wanted my judges to be clear because ball promoters, we're not just sitting there, writing categories for our health, and covering up and making the money happen for the category and doing this and doing that for the category for you to just overlook it because they're your child or overlook it because they're your girlfriend or overlook it because um, they're a part of your house. You have to do your job and do justice by the ball promoter and the ball category and the people that are also participating in the ball because we've all read the categories. We're all sitting back watching and making sure that the ball is represented properly and being judged properly. Um, but I loved that they kept it very fair and they were very clear on what they liked. And they were very I think they were stern where it needed to be stern. So I applaud my judges. I shout my judges out. I never have any issues with judges at my balls ever, ever. I love my judges always. My judges always do they do their big one. But I wanted to personally put my note out for runway because y'all know that's my category. So I wanted to make sure that when we gave this $1,000 out, it was going to be that new $1,000 girl of DC, that new DC supermodel, right? Boom. So shout out to everybody that walked. Um, Eddie is the winner. Eddie won $1,000 for runway at the Fashion Fair ball. He did his big one per usual. We all know how Eddie does when he comes out. He walks and he does his one. What I do want to say, the moment of the night was the battle between little Tony Moss versus my good Judy, my baby, Marshawn, Marciano. I thought that was a battle. I thought that was a battle. I thought that was a battle. I thought that was hot. Shout out to you, Marshawn. I thought that look was cute. It was cute. And you did your thing as usual. Tony was time enough at the ball. And it just be those nights. Let me tell you, the battle was hot though. The battle was hot. And then you came and then you came right behind and Eddie came back and then Eddie did his thing, um, with um with Banks. Banks walked in a look we've seen before, but um, Eddie did great, and Eddie won that battle as Eddie won, and that moved on to the next final battle, which would have been Tony versus Eddie, and that was hot. The girls back and forth, back to back, eating it, eating it. So shout out for Eddie. He won legendary runway and he won the grand prize for 1,000. But shout out for Tony and thank you Tony for trusting Pyer Moss for to be your new house. I truly can tell you that it's going to be a good time, baby. and you did your big one. You definitely made your moment coming out. Okay, definitely, 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 definitely did. So shout out to um, the Mattels because the Mattels will always support. I got to shout out the Mattels. I love the Mattels, and shout out to Malia. Malia was out there. Said, "Little Chloe." Shout out to Malia. I love you, Malia. You're just so beautiful. I was so happy to look back and see you on the panel. It was like, ah, oh, Malia's here finally, guys. The point of the ball was like we were supposed to have an all female figure panel. The exception was if you didn't have a female figure, you had to have an icon. Okay, you had to have an icon representative. If you didn't have a female figure representative, you had to have an icon. So I want to encourage you guys to start having more female figures in your house and push them out, get them on the floor. So we can start getting them on the panel and representing your houses and things like that too. Because I would have loved to really execute that. That was my goal. We did a great job with our panel though. There's no shade whatsoever. Our panel was amazing, but you know, everybody has their personal goals. My goal was to have a full female figure panel. But shout out to my overall and founding mother, Bella. Okay, shout out to Bella because Miss Bella was, of course, behind the scenes, making sure all of the kids were prepared, making sure everybody was good. Okay, and then got up on the panel and made sure she represented every one of those categories. And she would be looking over at me like, "All right, let's make sure we're doing it. Make sure we okay. You're good. All right." So shout out to Bella. I love you, girl. You my ace. You're my left hand and my right hand. All right. Okay. You're my girl. All right. So I want to get into Bazaar. Bazaar was themed after my house, Pyer Moss. Okay. If you looked at the category, it was about black inventions, and I want to shout out again, Orlando. You are a visionary. Thank you for participating. Okay. That look was so mean. So mean. It was so mean. $500. Fashion Bazaar. You ate that. The the caution tape. They didn't even know that we made that. They didn't know that. Education. You see, the Fashion Fair Bar was supposed to give that level of education. Thank you, Orlando. Okay, and then there was an architect behind it, Layla again. Oh, here we go. Layla. That damn Layla. Layla don't make no damn sense. Layla don't listen. Layla, you don't make no damn sense. Oh, and the gas mask. See, look, put me continued. The gas mask. Get into it. Get into. You see, we should have allowed you, Orlando, to take a moment and explain what it gave. We should have gave you a moment to get on there and explain what it gave, because no way did they understand that whole look. You ate that though. You said you would have passed out on the mic. Not you would have passed out on the mic. Oh no. Orlando, I'm gonna listen. That is a fool. Listen, I would start trying to invite. I'm gonna try to send you an invite. I'm gonna send you an invite. I gotta hear about this because it's no way. It's no way. We gotta hear about that. They don't want to find you on here. But watch this. I got I got this little extra little power right here. Boom. That's why I like the StreamYard app that we can do this. This is so professional. It's so streamlined. It's so smooth. Hold on, here we go. I'm doing something over here on my end. And I had wanted to shout out Kanaya because Kanaya has actually been a part of ballroom for a while, and she's a part of heart to hand. I know that there was I heard that there was a question about her being on the panel. I want to clear that up. This is someone that has been a part of ballroom, that's been at all of y'all balls, all of my balls. She's been at everybody's stuff. Um, so that's y'all gotta stop questioning stuff. Stop questioning good people. Let me just say that. Stop questioning good people and just follow good people. That's what you're supposed to do. Follow good people. Mila, I was shouting you out earlier, girl. You did your big one. You did your absolute big one. Here we go. I'm sending it to Atlanta. Boom. You did your absolute big one. I loved it, Mila. I loved it because listen, for you to be somebody I know from mainstream ballroom to come over into Kiki, wow, you already in the Kiki scene, but to come over into Kiki scene and support me, I just appreciate it so very much. I thank you, Mila. You came out and did your big one. It was beautiful. Yes, her seat was very much so rightful. As a female figure, representative of this community, her seat was very much so rightful. And she sat right next to my overall mother, exactly where she needed to be. Okay. That's exactly where she needed to be. I would have loved to have my sister from Versace up there um, as well. I was hoping the other Layla was coming as well, so that we can get her up there. I miss them guys. I miss seeing them, but I want to definitely shout them out. I love them dearly. Now, I do want to thank all of the houses. So we got to go. Let me get on that list because I want to get onto that list. And I want to talk about a couple things. Okay, so Juicy, Mattel, Supreme, Bodega, Champion, Von Dutch, Versace. You had as well. Balachi came out and supported as well. Wayne came out and supported as well. Marciano came out and supported as well. So I just want to appreciate all of you guys. I want to give you all a shout out and say, again, balls don't happen without participants. So thank you guys for coming out and supporting. Congratulations to the house of Juicy Couture. Okay, you MFers are some performing divas running the world everywhere, all kinds of things. No matter where y'all go, y'all winning. Y'all doing y'all big one. So shout out to y'all. Y'all won $2,000 at the Fashion Fair Ball for house with the most trophies, and there was no issue giving the money out whatsoever. Everybody got their cash prize. Everybody got their trophies. We tallied it up at the end. The gag was a couple of the houses they was paid. They paid the tally. I guess they saw they saw the number of trophies that the Juicies had, and they was like, "Girl, pay it, girl. We ain't even going to tally, girl." But it was first and second place was Juicy and Pyer Moss. We had 6 to their 9, and it was a great ball. I was hoping to see some other numbers so we can see how everybody else did, because it was kind of split up. Everybody was really winning throughout the night. I felt like the talent was so spread. It was spread out. Everybody was doing their big one. Everybody was so beautiful. The energy was high. The food was good. DJ Obi was DJing. Kirk was kirking. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Boom. Shout out to Boom. Boom, you are the biggest. Respectfully. Let me tell you something. You are always somebody that puts some great energy behind everything you do. And I appreciate that. People have a hard time saying thank you. But today I'm saying thank you because Kirk, boom, you are a friend. You are a friend. I thank you. You did your big one. I appreciate you. You made sure the ball was managed. We finished the ball. We got through every category. Every category. We got through every category. 14 categories. Okay. And it was a surprise commentator versus commentary commentator. Shout out to Lyric Balachi. Shout out to Lyric. And this was an OTY approved ball. So everyone that walked and won received their OTY point for DC. I believe they say DC and DMV. I listen. That's one motherfucking thing that I just don't get about this circle just yet. Y'all got two different scenes now. It's I just want to bring the community together. I don't know, but y'all got OTY points. So whomever's going to throw the next ball, my ball will be on there, and my points will count. So don't worry. But I'm super appreciative when it came down to um, getting everything together. It was nice and smooth. They said the Cambria they set up really nicely. They made it happen. They made it happen. They made it feel like they made it look like a fashion show, which it was supposed to look like. It was supposed to be executed that way. I'm glad that the numbers were where they were. I'm glad that the testing numbers hit where we wanted them to hit. Of course, um, next time we want to go even bigger. I definitely wasn't going to do an 800-person ballroom for my first major ball. It wasn't happening. I don't know who who put that in anybody's head, but I wasn't doing an 800 person or 800 seated or 1,000 person seated ballroom venue for my first major ball. It wasn't happening. I wasn't doing that. That's not reasonable. That's not smart. I don't know who told or who would even suggest that. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was like every like it hit all the notes. It hit all the notes. It hit all the notes. Elevated. Elevated. The fashion fair ball. The fashion fair ball. Moments. People debut. Shout out to Torrance, DMV father, Pyer Moss. Congratulations. We had debuts. You had moments. You had good food. You had good energy. You had the right people in the building. You had a beautiful bar. You had great drinks. I was making sure all of your house leaders were taken care of the entire time. They had drink tickets the entire time. They had drink tickets the entire time. So most of y'all leaders were getting drunk on the house. Okay, on the house. Y'all enjoyed yourselves. I'm super appreciative, and maybe we'll do something again. Maybe we'll do something again. Maybe we'll do something again. I think I got something else in store, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Listen. I heard a couple of squeaks, a couple of things that might have been negative, but let me tell you something. This is something that is long term. I'm going to be here for the long run. I'm not a seasonal bitch. I'm not nobody that's going to be seasonal. I'm a long term going to be here. Ain't no rinse out perm. Like I'm here. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. All you're going to do is see me grow. All you're going to do is see me get better. All you're going to see is the events get better, the events get bigger, the cash prizes to get bigger. I want to bring an elevated experience to DC and DMV Kiki ballroom scene. You guys have the capacity to do it. You guys have the talent to support it, but you guys have to keep your heart in it. You got to keep your heart in the right place. Okay? Don't let the fickle minded things cloud the good stuff. We had an HIV/AIDS awareness initiative, okay, that we successfully did with our Fashion Fair live chat ball. We reached over 500 people, okay, with that panel. That's uncommon, okay. You guys go ahead. We did successful testing on site. We did successful prep initiation on site. We were keeping people healthy on site. We were giving out great bags to keep safe, keep our community safe, keep our sexual health up. That's what we were there for at the Fashion Fair Ball. We promoted Black excellence. We promoted Black history. We promoted Black business. We promoted Black success. We promoted Black finance. Like, this is what I'm about. This is what I support, and this is what I push out. And I'm going to continue to push those things out because you guys deserve it. No matter what, you guys deserve it. You guys deserve it. And I appreciate everybody for coming out and supporting me. Okay. It was positive energy across the board. Thank you to my judges. Thank you to my DJ. Thank you to my MC. Okay. Thank you to everybody that purchased the table. Thank you to all of my sponsors. Thank you to my best friend at the door collecting y'all coins to get in and wrapping your arms with wristbands. Okay. Thank you, Lord, for always guiding me and keeping my heart in the right place. Okay. And thank you for all the participants for coming out and doing y'all big one. Because again, it ain't a ball without y'all. It ain't a ball without y'all. It ain't a ball without y'all. So thank you again. This is me signing out. This is the Fashion Fair recap. Thank you guys. See you at the next one.